Hey, it's Tori Christina here, and I am here to share with you today tips on fasting and actually my personal experience about how I do, looking at my nails, how I do my water fast only. The longest I've gone is 3 days, and I'm sure I can do more if I continue to do the 3 days, but I'm not there yet, and that's okay. So I wrote down some notes for you guys, and I'm going to share with you my journey in fasting. So first, I think the most important thing is to have a reason why. Like, why do you want to fast? My reasons, I have several reasons why I fast. One is for spiritual reasons. I am a Bible believer, so when I fast, it helps me to, what the Bible would say, to humble my flesh, which means it just takes me down a notch or two or three or 4 or 5, however many I need to come down, it takes me down, because what I'm doing on the spiritual side of fasting is I am trying to disconnect myself from the world or things that are my norm that can derail me from being spiritually connected. You know, the spirit realm is a whole nother realm, it's a whole nother place. And in order to be sensitive, like truly, truly sensitive to what is going on in that realm, I have to fast. I'm not, other people have we should be fasting, okay? But as believers, we should be fasting because it helps you in your walk. Like, you're able to hear from God more. You're able to hear your inner core and what you even have going on. A lot of times I have fasted and have realized things about myself that needed to be corrected. Spend more time in prayer, spend more time reading my word or reading inspirational books and things of that nature, which brings things to the surface, and then you're able to deal with it and you're able to get better. So fasting, spiritual reasons, is to spiritually connect you to God, to the Father, to the creator of the universe, and you just become more sensitive because you're turning off your gut. You're turning off that thing that always has to be fed. And if you think about, as much as we think about food, it's kind of like a distraction. Like, we have to eat at everything we go to, meetings, if we go out with our friends, if we have people over, everybody wants to eat. So it's really a distraction. So once we cut out that distraction, we're able to tune in more to what the spirit realm is saying to us. So definitely fasting for spiritual reasons is one of my why. My other why reason is for mental clarity. When I fast, I just think better, and it's scientifically proven. There's plenty of videos that you can watch, and I'm going to place in the comments the name of the it's the Indian doctor I've really been tuning into, and he talks about fasting a lot for health reasons and what he's done in his practice and how he's helped so many people through fasting. But for me, that mental clarity is everything, because after, especially when you do the longer ones, when you're going 3 days, and I can imagine 7 days, but I've done other types of fast too, I'm just talking about water only today, but I've done raw vegan fast. I've also done just juice, like fresh juices. I juice. So I've done juice fast for several days. I think my longest juice fast may have been like, I have to ask my friend Susan because she did it with me. I think we were on like 10 days or something like that, but it was just juice only. And so just those different types of fast, but I'm talking about water only. So the water only fast, it gives you that mental clarity. Like, I think it's the pineal gland. Don't quote me on that. But there's a gland in your brain that gets cleared out when you fast, because you're taking out all the toxins, and the things out of your body are being detoxed, and therefore you can think clearer. It just makes sense. Like, it makes so much sense. If you cleanse your body, everything just works better. And you have an open mind. Like, my mind is more open to new ideas. I don't have as much brain fog. I'm able to do videos like this because I'm thinking clearer. So the fasting truly, truly helps. It truly, truly works. mental clarity. The other thing is physically. Like I said, the doctor, he talks about all the physical, there's one little hair. See, I kind of want to just cut these across, but I'm not going to do it because the next thing you know, I'll be shaving it completely off. Yeah. That's another story. Anyway, so physically, you'll notice like your tummy will be flatter, ladies. We like flat tummy on flat tummies. You have more energy over time. They talk about the regeneration of cells. Like even I've heard about, you know how people go and get like, I shouldn't speak on that. But anyway, regeneration of cells. Because I don't want to be wrong, y'all. I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not going to speak on that. But there is definitely regeneration of cells and all kind of physical benefits. So how do you actually do it? So if you have never fasted before, and especially water only, maybe unless you do an absolute fast where there's no water, no food, no nothing. Each of those, even doing the juice only, even the raw vegan, it's about changing your mindset and your palate and your lifestyle. You really have to work up to the levels of fasting, because once you gain the benefits from the fasting, you want to hold on to those. That's what when I first started fasting, I found out like I got to a point where I had enough discipline to do it, but I wasn't able to hold on to the benefits after the fast. So now at this point in my fasting journey, I'm learning to hold on to the benefits of the fasting, keeping the weight down, not going on a whole 30-day fast, raw vegan, and then as soon as you're off of it, I'm eating everything. Like that's not, it's good to, like I said, it's levels. So it's stages. So it's just stages. So in this stage that I'm in, I want to be able to maintain the benefits. When I lose the weight, when I'm closer to God, when I am mentally clear and I'm being more productive, I want to be able to hold on to the benefits from the fasting. And so when you're working up to the fast, like I'm saying, it's really a lifestyle change. If you want to hold on to the benefits, you have to change the way you think. And so that requires, when I first, like years ago, started fasting, I watched the guy Joe, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. That is an excellent documentary to watch. And there's so many other documentaries on foods, because if you watch, you get information. You have to educate yourself. Get the information about what different foods do to us, and you know, all the preservatives and the additives and the hormones that are in the food. Like it really changes our genetic, I don't want to say genetic makeup, but like our chemistry, our body chemistry. I found out that like even with eating, I haven't eaten meat this year, 2022, but I still do fish occasionally, but no meat. And like I said, I'm back and forth, vegan, sometimes vegetarian, whatever. But what I noticed with me cutting out the meat, like it has really affected my hormones, like in a better way. I really suffered with acne, like so super bad. And I'm going to share that video at one point of how bad my acne had gotten and how it is now. Like my face is cleared up. I only have like 1 or 2 breakouts with my cycles, and this might be TMI, and my cycles are shorter now just from cutting out the meat, y'all. Just from cutting out the meat. I still do fish because I guess I'm still like a carnivore. I still want to like chew. I don't know, but I can't say that I'll eventually cut out fish. I can't say that I won't ever eat meat again, because I do be wanting chicken wings sometimes. But I see the benefits. So that's what it's about. Once you get through like the fasting and changing your lifestyle, the benefits from it. Once you get to that benefit stage, and I'm like, okay, I could eat this piece of meat, but I don't want my face to break it back out. My face being clear is more important to me than the chicken wing. So that's just what it is, and then all the internal benefits. I'm waiting for when I go back to the doctor and, I've had fibroids. I am waiting to see how many, if not all of them are gone, but I know they shrunk. I felt them when I did the raw vegan, I could feel them shrinking. Y'all don't believe me, but it's for real. I felt them shrinking. So anyway, so you have to work up to the lifestyle. You got to change your palate, change how you eat, get off it's not, I would say get off the carbs, but the processed, so much processed foods. The chips. I used to be a chip addict, for real. So getting off the chips is a big thing, and it kind of was tied to my environment because we worked right by a little corner store and I could get all the chips I wanted all day, anytime. But so getting off the carbs, tapering down. And I found don't beat yourself up when you don't do as well as you feel like you should, because it's an addiction. We're addicted to the sugar in the foods, the sodium in the foods, all the things that processors that process the food put in the food causes us to be addicted. So you have to really wean yourself off of it. The caffeine, wean yourself off all these things. It is a whole, when I tell you journey, it is a journey. So it doesn't happen overnight if you're going to hold on to the benefits. Try more plants, fruits, vegetables, anything. The Indian doctor, he says anything that doesn't have a barcode on it. But then they put barcodes on the fruits now. So what does that mean? That's a good question. That's a good question. But slow down eating the snacks before you go on a fast, and try to cut down your meals, go down to 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, and then try to water fast. Make sure it's a healthy meal plan where you're eating mostly fruits, vegetables. You can eat meat. Probably would be better choice would be grass-fed animals. If you're going to eat meat, those, tend not to have the hormones, I guess. That's what they say. I'm such a skeptic on this food supply, y'all, but we won't get into that. But try to grass-fed. Everything that's organic and grass-fed is best. So when I, the other day, I did over 24 hours. So I did 24 hours and then I skipped breakfast and I had lunch. So on a day like that, I'm doing water only. Have a plan in the morning, a routine. So I get up, I know I had to take my kids to school, and I went to the beach. Go by, if you're by a beach. If you're not, maybe I'll have a lake, a river, something that is natural, that you're not going to be bothered or distracted as you go into this process. It's just a time to reflect, a time, if you believe in meditation, it's a time to meditate, kind of just detach and see really what are you looking to get out of this opportunity, because fasting is an opportunity to grow, and just focusing in on that. So I'll go by the water. I'm rolling around in the sand. I don't care. I just be I'm happy to be outside and in nature. It just makes me, and I research a lot of things. So I've seen about grounding and how, being back in touch with nature, and being that we were made from the dust of the ground, it just makes sense. It's just being closer to our core and closer to, where we come from, closer to what's real, especially in the age that we live in, social media and all these things, just taking some time out to be closer. And what I try to do is do little or no TV. A TV can be a distraction to help you if, during the night, if I feel okay, I need to do something, I might watch something, but try to watch something that is very wholesome, something that is not going to derail you. Maybe a movie with no commercials where they have food in it, because that's going to be a distraction. Or anything that's, provocative, that is going to call to your flesh and make you feel a certain kind of way. Like you're trying to keep your environment pure, just as you're doing on the inside. You're putting water in, you're purifying. You want your environment to be pure as well. Have tasks to do, certain maybe creative tasks you want to work on. If you're going to work, like actually work, if you don't work in an office where you can be alone and not have as much interaction with people, because people are not going to understand, okay, you're fasting, and really biblically it's not something that we share with people, because you don't want to be bragging, oh, I'm fasting, oh, don't talk to me. No, you're trying to get a personal reward from your fasting. So if you're not able to close yourself off, or not that you can't talk to anybody, but be a little bit distant so that you have that space. And you might want to try fasting on a day where you're off and you can be at home, even if people are home, but just at home alone would be better. But just a time to, they say woosah, just a time to woosah and get yourself together. So in that time, like I said, have materials to read, self-improvement books, take a trip to the library, take a trip to my favorite, Barnes & Noble, take a trip there and just kind of roam around, like fill up your day with things that are nourishing to your spirit man, as well as your mental. Take a walk, don't run, walk. Take a walk, outside. That's what I'm saying about being in nature. So it's all of those things that you're kind of just replenishing yourself and giving back to yourself. And my biggest thing now, like I said, I'm holding on to the benefits of fasting, is I am more conscious of God and what He's saying to me, but I'm also more conscious of what I say, my self-talk. So I even caught myself this morning, because I'm fasting, actually going to fast today, and I'm fasting today. I caught myself this morning saying, something, but it wasn't positive, it was negative. And so I immediately said the opposite of it. No, I'm not that, I'm this. And I said it out loud. So just that in itself is a benefit of fasting, because I'm not distracted with, my body's not using that energy to process the food in my body, and it's giving me the opportunity to really be in tune with myself and become even more self-aware. And so through your day, like I said, just have stuff to do, wholesome stuff to do that's going to feed you in every area. Also at night, just go to bed. Please don't stay up too late, because the later you stay up and you're not doing anything, and if you're watching TV, that's why I said, like, really cut down on the TV, because that's a distraction. And sometimes people are emotionally tied to eating based on watching TV. Like if you watch TV, you gotta have something to eat. So, you wanna go to bed, just plan to go to bed. I don't know how your sleeping patterns are, if it's hard for you to get to sleep. I play rain sounds, like different sounds on my phone to just relax me, pray, meditate. Eventually you'll be asleep, but you have to go to bed. Go to bed at a decent time, because one, your body needs the rest because you're doing a water fast, but also that you don't get lost in the night and start eating. And also encourage yourself, tell yourself you can do it. Like a lot of times you're not even hungry. I know that's how I was my fast before this one is, I wasn't even hungry, but I wanted to eat. Like I'm literally not hungry. I had to tell myself, you're not even hungry. You're not, you know what hungry is? Hungry is like hungry. but you're not even hungry. So really speak to yourself, encourage yourself along the way. You can do this. It will strengthen your self-discipline. When you really think about it, if you can't miss a meal, if you're jacked up, if you miss one meal a day, it's time for some self-examination. Self is really just self-discipline, self-examination, self-encouragement. Self. It's a healthier being selfish. You're being selfish for a healthy reason instead of a negative reason. Like, really, this is for you. You can do it. Leave questions and comments below. I know this is a little different than I usually post, but God is transitioning me into another area of life. And so I wanted to share my journey with you. And fasting is one of my biggest, like, it gets you right. All right. So please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe so you get that ding. Oh, hit the bell. That's what you got to do. You subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when my next video will be up. I wish you all the best and best wishes. I don't know what to say. I'm not used to making these videos. I'll see you next time, guys. Love ya.